With hip-hop turning 50 years old, we wanted to take a walk down a different path than others, flooding the net with rap lore and beef stories, and discuss what the best non-skip albums in rap are. Spark TV wanted to give roses to those who have assembled flawless albums. Having one in your catalog doesn't mean you won't have a stellar career over multiple generations. It's more of a subcategory for hip-hop heads looking for more in rap and R&B songs. And venture past what the experts say is the best with fake awards and fake numbers. In no order at all, let's dive into Spark TV's best albums ever assembled. To start this list off right, we go to Jermaine J. Cole. He came out the gate from day one, setting the game on fire. Signed to Jay-Z, the first since Kanye. People knew he was something special. Co-signed or not, Cole was already putting together Sideline Story, recounting his life and signing to Jay. It was his first release, and he didn't know he already wrote his first stellar album with no skips needed. But, if you want another example, under contract, let's go directly to Forest Hills Drive. With competition at its highest in his class, it was sink or swim, and he produced, wrote, and released his second stellar album. Every track was a continuation of a story that never got old. He was setting himself apart. One of the best MCs to touch the mic, let alone hail from the mecca of hip-hop, New York. DMX, Earl Simmons the Dog, represented hip-hop his entire career. He put the passion he had for hip-hop in his lyrics and performances. He gave his all every time he stepped on the stage. So in the summer of '03, he already had a seasoned veteran Hall of Fame status. He released somewhat quietly his greatest album ever, Grand Champ, teamed up with his choice of people, not what the label wanted. You could tell he was on some new path, and he unapologetic in his deliveries. He left no rumor untouched and beef unsettled. This was DMX's crown jewel. It goes down in history as a non-skip masterpiece. You can't have a list of masterpieces and not mention a boy, Drake, Drizzy, or Aubrey. Whichever you go with, it's all the same. And when he dropped the next album, to cement him on this list, mind you, it's not the only episode he'll be in. But for now, this was the first he dropped to be, in our opinion, a non-skip masterpiece. The stakes were high on his career, being one of the best. He was on the path with that and surpassing it. But when this project dropped, soon after it came with his first brush of skepticism of his skills in writing. Now, with all that aside, whether it's true, partially, or not, if you're reading this, It's Too Late is the first project released by Drake that was an instant classic and had to be played back numerous times. It took over the clubs, streets, and hip-hop as a whole. He will go on to cement his name even more, but that's later on. We'll give Drake his roses on this one. The next entry on the list will have some calling it a curveball, but if you know music, you know this kid had something cooking when he went into the studio for this particular project. We'll mention in a second. But Justin Bieber transformed from the transplanted Canadian kid heartthrob for teens to a full 360 street look that had the industry split down the middle. He lost fans but gained a new group when he crossed over into R&B. The album Journals was hands down one of the best R&B albums released in 2013, let alone one to join a list of R&B history all-time great albums. It has the Atlanta feel mixed in with some ballads from some of the greats like Gerald Levert and Keith Sweat were right. Journals had it all in one project. Landed, in our opinion, JB, his first non-skip masterpiece, and for that, he receives his roses. Another hip-hop princess turned queen seemingly overnight, she single-handedly shattered expectations set for her career on the first swing of the gate. Her career is one many hoped for, let alone achieved so soon, from dancing, modeling, creating brands, and being a mother and wife, and doing it all well. When she released her album, 7, she had some of the best production and features, yet it was in that booth was her belting out these vocals. From the debut track, Maybe, to the straight vocal performance on Sorry. That's when everyone took notice of a star. Miss Taylor, stand up to receive your roses. Rounding out this first episode, we take it to the South. and this legend came up in the hip-hop era and began his career in the golden age of rap. In the 90s, if you didn't watch The Box, you don't know about The Box. The Box was the best and had the best. One such artist debuted on The Box, and the track The Whole World set the rap game ablaze. It featured a young lyricist named Killer Mike. Aside from the venture's outer rap, he is a vocal leader of African American people who see the world as he does. He is a treasured asset for his mind, let alone what he has done on the mic. With all that being said, his newest, we say that again, his newest. After a 25 plus year career, he released his greatest album to date. It would be a tough task to find an album with as much street, class, black, uplifting, and pure lyrics, all encompassed in one project. Killer Mike on this episode gets his roses and closes out the episode with arguably the best assembled album ever. Stay tuned for the next 5 artists that have given hip-hop and R&B no-skip masterpiece albums. See if your favorite artists and your favorite albums are on the list. Peace out.